One of the things that gets me really excited about my work is that I'm allowed in. I can still remember the excitement the first time I was allowed across the threshold of one of the big banks in Wall Street. Being allowed in and going to see how businesses operate and hopefully learning enough to make a contribution. It's an exciting moment just arriving in an organisation, listening to people, thinking very, very carefully about what is it that the stakeholders need to have delivered. What would be a great outcome? One of my favourite questions is, if in a year's time there'd been a great outcome, what would have happened? And I try and hold that outcome in my head right from the beginning of any new piece of work. It's also particularly important to be reminded that this is brand new. This organisation has its own culture, this finance function has its own pressures, and that there's thousands of hours of knowledge about that within the organisation. To make a real difference and hold that outcome in mind and move things towards a great outcome for the stakeholders, including all of the people that one meets as one goes along, it's important to take into account the history of how we got to here in order to have a really, really good, solid understanding of what are the things that are going to be most effective from getting from here to there. So knowing that one arrives with experience of having maybe done similar things in other places gives a framework for understanding. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't give a right not to listen. It doesn't give a right to dismiss. It only gives a right to listen in a very particular way and work with the grain of how things go.